Check. Well, I'm sorry about that, folks, but we had a little technical difficulty here. Video was coming through fine, but I found out that I didn't have any audio. So I had to go offline, come back here, make sure you had audio so you could hear what was going on. So I apologize to you about the delay, but we're back. And we're going to go back and talk about all of the things that led up to where I am right now. As I said earlier, got a lot of fans out here, got a lot of people supporting Jackson State. People are here from Mississippi Valley State, Alcorn, and others as well. We have the Divine Nine represented here quite nicely. As you can see, I'm representing Phi Beta Sigma. But I'm Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated. And also Kappa Kappa Psi Fraternity Incorporated. And with that, because I marched in the greatest band in the land, the Sonic Boom of the South, and that's what I am exceptionally proud of. And as you can see, this place right here is where I marched. And that is the home of the JSU Tigers. And I can tell you right now, more than anything else, this stadium is going to be rocking today. And looking forward, the stadium may not be totally full, but I can tell you right now, we're going to have a lot of people representing Alcorn. They had an 1877 event last night, and I can tell you, a lot of people were here. A lot of people represented, and they had a lot of fun. Guys, I'm telling you, Alcorn is going to be here, and they're going to be here in numbers. And it's going to be a tough game. Alcorn, the way Alcorn first started the season, it was kind of rough. But now they're better, they're playing a lot better, and we'll see how well they play today. Because this is a rivalry game. And because this is a rivalry game, it's going to be interesting how well Jackson State can play. And with Jackson State playing in this game against a big rival, anything can happen. Because it has happened. I remember one year, Alcorn was riding high. They made it to the Celebration Bowl. Jackson State was not doing well that year. And the Tigers won 7-0. Anything can happen, folks. Jackson State must win today. First to make it to the SWAC championship game. And more than likely, if they win that game, the game will be hosted here at the Vet. But we have to wait and see and get confirmation on that. If Jackson State is fortunate to win that game, providing they win today, they will face the victor between South Carolina State and Delaware State. And that's going to be huge because they play today at 1 o'clock. And I'm going to be watching that game prior to this game started. It's going to be great, guys. That's all I got to say. It's going to be great. Looking forward to having a great day more than anything else. But as we always do, and as I said, I apologize for things not working as they should have up front and earlier on today. But just in case you need to get in contact with me, here you go. www.yourstreet.tv. That's my website. And hopefully you're watching either via our website. But if not, we're still live to you via Facebook and YouTube. Also, if you need to get in contact with me, you can also catch up with me at my my email address at michaelj@jcconnect.net. So you have a couple of ways of reaching out to me, and make sure if you need to catch up with me, please do. But for most home games, and I should be here if we win today, I should be here next week as well for the SWAC championship game. If the game is in Prairie View, I will be there as well. So, guys, let's get to it, because the other thing I also want to cover are the other two conferences, the CIAA and as well as the SIAC. They too are playing today, but not the entire conference. And the entire conference, I should say, they are involved in playoffs. So the teams that are playing today are involved in playoffs. But in order to qualify for the playoffs, they had to first play their championship games. And last week in the CIAA, you had, of course, the Johnson C. Smith Golden Bulls played the Virginia Union Panthers. And for that particular game, as you can see, both teams finished the regular season 9-1. But initially, the Golden Bulls had to play Virginia Union. And in that particular game, Virginia Union defeated the Golden Bulls by a score of 28-10. And in that particular game, Virginia Union kind of had their number. But you could see there were ebbs and flows in the game with what what Johnson C. Smith was trying to do. But Virginia Union was successful in that game. And not only that, but they were also the defending champs for the CIAA. And because they were defending champs, they played like defending champs. And they ended up the season 9-1. But Johnson C. Smith qualified for the championship game. So Coach Flowers, congratulations for that. He constantly built this program. And in 4 years, he made it to the conference championship. And the results of that conference championship is right there. The Golden Bulls traveled to Virginia Union, and they were successful in defeating those Panthers by a score of 45-21. At no point in time in this game did Johnson C. Smith not have control of this game. Now, the first quarter, yes, it kind of went back and forth because they were trying to fill each other out. But let me tell you something. Johnson C. Smith said, enough filling each other out. We're going to go ahead and we're going to take this game over. Second half, end of discussion. They just took it to them and said, we made it, we're here, and we're going to take this. You beat us during the regular season, but we're going to take the championship game. And guess what, folks? That's exactly what they did. They took this championship game, and they defeated them by a score of 45-21. And guys, my hat's off to them for what they did. Now, today, Johnson C. Smith, as well as Virginia Union, they both qualified to make it to the Division II playoffs. And with them qualifying to make it to the Division II playoffs, this is where they are in their particular region. And let's go there right now. And here you are. In their region, in their super region, Johnson C. Smith, with their win in the CIAA, they qualified as the number 2 seed in their region. And as you can see, they will play Frostburg. Should I say they will host this game against Frostburg. And as you can see, all the games here start at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time. Virginia Union is the number 3 seed. And as you can see, of course, they finished the season at 9-2, but they will also host California of Pennsylvania. Now, what happens here, if each of those teams win, if Virginia Union and Johnson C. Smith win their home games where they're hosting, guess what happens? They will play the rubber match, which means they will play for the 3rd time this season. Now, the game will be hosted by Johnson C. Smith, since Johnson C. Smith is the higher seed. So, guys, this is going to be, look, I only have one phone with me. I forgot to bring my other phone so I could just watch all the games. But while I'm in the press box, trust me, I'm going to be going back and forth, just making sure I can watch and check out the scores for all of these games. So this is going to be fun. This is going to be interesting in terms of what's going on. And guys, I'm seeing alums all over the place in terms of what's going on. And it's just a lot of people here, a lot of fans, a lot of alums here that I can see. And it's just great. It's great. A lot of friends, a lot of family. But let me continue on, because otherwise I'm going to get distracted by friends and alums that I see here. But as I was saying, if these two teams win, and as I brought it back up again, the number 2 and the number 3 seeds will play each other, which means that will be the 3rd time this season that Johnson C. Smith and Virginia Union will play each other. And as you can see, Johnson C. Smith, of course, with their win, they're 10-1. Virginia Union is 9-2. And if that happens, that would be absolutely phenomenal. Unfortunately, that only means one of the 2 HBCUs will move forward to the round of 8. But that would be great, because at least we would guarantee a team would make it to the round of 8. Now, let's go ahead and let's move forward to the CIAA. And in the CIAA, here you go. You had the Benedict Tigers, playing against Albany State. And Albany State, they really took it to them. In the first part of the season. They defeated Benedict by a score of 31-3. And guys, I don't even think the game was that close. They came out because they said, okay, y'all came on our yard, beat us 2 years ago. And they really beat them down, Benedict, when they had a previous coach of Coach Berry, who's currently coaching at South Carolina State. And that beatdown was not pretty 2 years ago. Some of the players from that team were still playing this year. They remembered that. hence the reason for the beatdown of 31-3. And like I said, they just took it to them. Benedict did their best to hold on in that game, but Albany State was having none of it. And because of the buildup, the following game, Albany State had a huge letdown, and they almost lost that game. And I mean, it was kind of interesting what happened after that game, because they played Savannah State and they barely won that game by a score of 21-18. But all I have to say is that they made it. And because of that, and because of Benedict continuing to move and win, they qualified to play them one more time to see if they could also do the same thing that Johnson C. Smith did in the CIAA, to see if they could get a little bit of revenge and win the conference championship game. And let's take a look at the results here. And as you can see, the game was close. Benedict made the game close. They made it very interesting all the way to the end. But as you can see, Albany State was able to hold on, and they defeated Benedict College by a score of 22-16. And because of that, now, well, before I go there, last week with that game, we also had two other games. And those two games were Kentucky State and Allen. They each had games. And what was happening there is that Commissioner Holloman had it in mind that, as you can see, Kentucky State defeated Shorter by a score of 35-7. Allen defeated Erskine by a score of 42-24. And with those victories, what Commissioner Holloman, the commissioner of the SIAC, what his goal was, he was hoping to get more teams in the Division II playoffs, because they had expanded the playoffs. And because of that, that was his goal, was to see how many teams he could get into the Division II playoffs. Prior to the championship game, I said there is a chance for the CIAA and the SIAC team, then the SIAC conferences, to get a total of 5 teams in the playoffs. 5 teams in the Division II playoffs. And guess what? I was right, because of their level of play, and also out of conference or non-conference games. And as you could see, well, Kentucky State, for those who don't know, Kentucky State played one whale of a season. They came essentially out of nowhere, because let me go back and show you the records for each of these teams and where they ended up. Oh, yes, I see we got wish I could bring her in, but I can't bring her in. We have members of the administration here for Jackson State, but I can't bring her in here. But, wow, I wish I could see if I could. But anyway, but let's show the record. So as you can see, Kentucky State ended the season with a record of 8-2, and as, of course, you can see Albany State and Benedict ended the regular season 9-1 overall. Allen, slim chance, but as you can see, the number 4 team finishing with a record of 5-3. They had a record of 5-5, above 500. So, Commish, he was pulling some strings. But what he did do, because of his negotiations, because of his foresight, he was able to get 3 teams, the 2 teams that played in the conference final, the conference championship game, as well as Kentucky State. And because of that, they were able to get 3 teams into their championship game. And talking about the game and what actually transpired later on, and let me go to show you the score of the championship game. This is what happened in the championship game. Albany State, as I said, hung on to defeat Benedict by a score of 22-16. And because of that, with the playoff implications, this is actually what has transpired there. And as you can see, Albany State will host Valdosta State. And I'm going to get back to that. Kentucky State will travel to Newberry, and Wingate will host Benedict. So between the CIAA and the SIAC, they were able to get 5 teams into the Division II playoffs. This is something unprecedented, and this is something that was great. And I'm glad that this happened, and I'm glad that this year, and I'm hoping more than anything else, that we at least are able to get 3 teams, at least 3 teams to qualify to go from round 1, the round of 32, to round of 16. Now, for Albany State and Valdosta State, a lot of schools have not gotten any farther than playing Valdosta State. And I can tell you right now, the entire city of Albany, Georgia, is behind Albany State. Why is the entire city behind Albany State? It is because the city of Albany is tired of Valdosta State being the team that always knocks out Albany State or any and every HBCU from making it to the next level. And it's always been Valdosta State. And so now this year, everybody's going to say, okay, this year is the year. Albany State is like 2 and whatever against Valdosta State. Everybody is hoping and saying and praying, can this be the year that we advance past Valdosta State? Valdosta State, as you saw, their record is 6-4. They had a rough start as well, but then they ran off 6 straight victories. It's either 5 or 6 straight victories. And because of that, and not only that, but they were able to beat North Greenville. And I believe that was the team in their conference that they were able to defeat. And they won their championship game. And because of that, this is the only way Valdosta State was able to qualify for the playoffs. Now, Valdosta State last year, they made it to, how y'all doing? Yeah. Last year, Valdosta State made it all the way to the championship game. They lost, but they made it all the way to the championship game. And that was something to behold. So this year had kind of a down year. And because they had a down year, it was a lot they had to work with. But they made it. And so this year, Albany State is not taking anything at all for granted. They're saying, okay, we got to pull out all the stops. We got to do what's necessary. We got to make sure that this year that we do what's necessary to win this game. And so whatever we need to do, we're going to do it. They're not going to cheat or anything like that. But one of the things that I can say more than anything else is that if you watch the games, I'm sorry, folks. I call it like it is. If you watch the games, you can tell that in some of those games that, unfortunately, they're not only playing the team, they're also playing the referees. And that's something that is not good because they always have to do that. But it shouldn't come down to that. That's the only problem. But unfortunately, they do. And hopefully this year, they don't have to play against the referees and the team. And that it'll be a fair game all the way across. And if Albany State loses, they lose. But at least let it be a fair game. That's all I'm saying. So, with the 5 teams that have qualified for the Division II playoffs, let's hope and pray. I would love to see all 5 win. Trust me, I would love to see all 5 win. But if not, at least 3 of those teams, I would love to see at least 3 of those teams come out and win and move to the round of 16. Now, when they move to the round of 16, if all 5 win, then what will happen is that some of these teams will play against each other in the round of 16, which means at least 2 more of those teams will be out if all 5 win. So we'll see. We just need to keep our eyes open and send up a prayer to say, hey, let's make this happen. But we'll see. Now, continuing to move forward, and as you can see, I have my tent in, and my tent is blocking part of the sun. It rained here last night, rained here part of the day. But right now, God has blessed us to say, hey, yes, we're not going to have rain during the tailgate. Don't know if it's going to rain after the tailgate. Hopefully, God holds off the rain until after the game, but we shall see. But as I was saying, with the MEAC, got some big games coming up, folks. Some big games. Big games. Big games. Now, let me paint the stage for where we are today. Last week, huge game between South Carolina State and North Carolina Central. North Carolina Central, they were still holding on to everything that they could hold on to say, yes, there's a chance for us to make it to the Celebration Bowl. But we first have to take care of business by defeating South Carolina State. Now, the one thing I can tell you about Coach Trey Oliver and all of his team, I have not seen, I may be wrong, I may have missed a couple of games, but I have not seen Coach Trey Oliver lose to teams consecutive years. And so with that being the case, they lost to South Carolina State last year, which enabled South Carolina State to make it to the Celebration Bowl last year to play against Jackson State. So this year, here they are. South Carolina State had to travel to North Carolina Central. And with South Carolina State having to travel to North Carolina Central, a lot of things were in the favor of North Carolina Central. Now, the first part of the game, South Carolina State came out banging. Took a lead 17-3. Next, North Carolina Central came back. They scored 17 unanswered points, making the score 20-17. And then after that, second half started. South Carolina State said, you know what, enough of this. And they took it to them. And they made a big difference. And they took that game. They won that game by a score of 34-27. Now, the other side of that, because South Carolina State pretty much can paint their own ticket, can write their own way to the Celebration Bowl, but they have to win out. But there's another team that's undefeated that a lot of people are like, where the hell are they coming from? And that's Delaware State with Coach Jackson. So Coach Deshaun Jackson is like, hold the heck up. We got a chance to go to the Celebration Bowl too. And because of that, here we are. Delaware State had to play Howard. Guys, let me tell you something. That running game was not as vaunted as it normally was against the other team. Howard kind of had scoped that game out, even though the running game was still, for the most part, there, but they were still able, Howard was still able to kind of hold them back. But for the most part, Delaware State still had their way. And with that being the case, let me show you the scores of that game and the other game in the MEAC as well. And here you are. Delaware State, 26. Howard, 13. As I said earlier, South Carolina State defeated North Carolina Central, meaning North Carolina Central does not have a path at all to go to the Celebration Bowl. This is going to come down to the game that's going to be played today between South Carolina State and Delaware State. And here it is, folks. 1 o'clock, Dover, Delaware. South Carolina State against Delaware State. Now, in the history of this game, Delaware State has not fared well against South Carolina State. But then again, let me be clear. Delaware State has not really fared well against any of the teams in the MEAC. But this year, we're going to see what's going to actually happen and how well Del State is going to play against this team. Now, and the reason why I point that out, and as I look around, slowly but surely, this is starting to fill up. It is really starting to fill up, folks. But the reason why I point this out is because last year, a first-year head coach, being Coach Shanice Berry. Oh, what's up? Have a seat here. And let me say this, and I'm going to get to this brother right here. But let me pull my chair over. So, with Shanice Berry, this was his first year. Should I say 2024 was his first year coaching South Carolina State. And because that was his first year, he took that team, which wasn't even his players, to the Celebration Bowl. Now he came up against Jackson State. But at the same time, that was his first year with his team. Now we have Delaware State with the opportunity to do the exact same thing with a first-year head coach with the potential of taking that team to the Celebration Bowl. Now, if Jackson State defeats first Alcorn, which is going to be a tall order, and then make it to the SIAC Championship against Prairie View and defeat Prairie View, then now the defending champs, which happens to be Jackson State for the Celebration Bowl, would then take on the victor of South Carolina State or Delaware State. Now, I got a brother here that I'm going to go ahead and hook up, make sure, get his mic up, running and operational. Let me make sure which mic you got. So give me a test. Give me a check.
Test one.
Give me to me.
Test one.
There you go. And so guess what? This brother right here, Cedric. Man, how you doing, Doc?
Man, life is good, man. Just celebrated a birthday on Thursday, so...
What, did this make you 30?
Man, I wish it did. But still here, that means a whole lot. Those two words means a whole lot. Still here means a whole lot. So, yes, sir.
You have no idea what that means because we've had a couple of alums that have passed away. And so, yes, to be here and to see another day, to see another game between Jackson State and Alcorn says a lot. I'm seeing Tiger fans come in, bringing their kids so they know what the experience. They know how to have fun. And I'm seeing fans all over the place, Alcorn. This is a huge game. It's kind of like almost like a family reunion. What you think?
It's always it's a family affair. I mean, it's nothing like a JSU Alcorn game. You know, just from, I guess, day one, when my mom was able to take us to a football game, Southern and Alcorn were those two games we did miss, as well as homecoming.
That's right.
So this is
games.
Truly a family affair.
Yes. So what do you think about this game? Do you think Alcorn has a chance in this game at all? You think Alcorn has a chance in this game at all?
The game could go anyway. But I think the momentum that we have today and what's really at stake, win or go home, we win because we are going back to Atlanta. Simple as that. So I think our guys are focused and ready to play. And I think you're going to see that off at the beginning on kickoff.
And you see, that's my thing. Because if we can show that kind of intensity at the beginning of the game, then that will say a lot about Jackson State, what their plans are, because I also heard, I don't know if you've heard anything about it, Jacobian Morgan, that he may play today. Have you heard that?
It's speculations, so we'll see. You know, but I think regardless of who's behind the center, I think we're going to be good. I mean, I think our team is built for this occasion.
Yes.
And so win or go home, that's all you need to understand. Win or go home. And I think we're going to win. Well, I know we're going to win.
And with this game, this is a huge rivalry. Because as I said earlier, Jackson State played Alcorn several years ago when Alcorn just went like a hot knife through butter through the conference. And Jackson State, this was several years ago, Jackson State wasn't doing good at all. I mean, we were having one of our worst years. But guess what happened? The game was here at the Vet. And Jackson State ended up taking that game by a score of 7-0. But then again, it was the Tigers. and so that was something that you can easily say, well, it was expected, but it was a huge game.
Right.
And anything can happen when you have two rivals playing against each other. And so, with that being the case, what have you been doing?
Man, I truly understand the word lifing, what lifing really means now. So that's exactly what I've been doing. I mean, I've been all over the place. Now I am a scout master of a Boy Scout troop. And when I say that has been one of the most rewarding experiences or opportunity that I have had in my life. And it's just something different by being a true mentor for young men, especially young black men.
And you know what? In today's environment, nothing, and let me reiterate this, nothing against the ladies that are out there, especially for the ladies that have to run a single-parent household, because I tip my hat to you for having to do that. But when you can have men teaching boys how to become a man, that takes the burden off of what the lady has to do. And that's where the Boy Scouts come into play to help. And the more you see another man saying these are the things you have to do to come alongside, to support, to be there, not to be that person that is, I'm trying to say this as nice as I possibly can say it, but not to live off of a female.
Absolutely. And when I say I see the growth, the development every day, it's just it's teardropping, I would say. So I'm just proud to be in a position like this and give our kids something to look forward to.
And thank you very much, because that's something I must say more than anything else. Thank you very much for doing that, because that takes time. And a lot of people are like, oh, yeah, anybody can do that. No, everybody can't do that. Explain some of the things that you have to do as a Boy Scout leader.
Well, just the responsibility alone. Remember, Boy Scout is a scout-led organization. The boys lead themselves. And for the adult leaders, we have to be true mentors and truly guide them in the way that they need to go. So we're not only scout leaders, but we're fathers, we're uncles, we're brothers, all of the above. And the beauty about this, when moms or even dads can turn their kids over to us, I mean, wow. I mean, that responsibility is priceless.
You don't understand. Guys, if you don't understand that, because that means there's a level of trust that you are putting into the hands of someone else. And then when you see the development in those kids as they grow from kids to boys to men, that's huge. And we need more of that. We need more mentors.
Yes.
We need more men to come out there and say, this is what it is to grow up to be a man.
Right.
And the more you have men to come alongside to say, hey, look, boy, you need to do this. You need to grow up. You need to be able to take care of your mom. You need to be able to take care of your sisters. This is what it is to be a man.
Yeah.
And the more you do that.
Yeah. And it's not only the development within the scouting arena, but as well, I have members of my troop that are members of the top team, Jack and Jill, the Kappa League, and as well as the Omega Lamplighters. So we're training leaders for everybody. So I highly encourage, there's a program out there. Hey, sign your child up.
Now, you mentioned something about the Omega Lamplighters.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me about who they are.
Well, they are one of our mentor groups for the Omega Psi Phi fraternity, which we have several. And I'm more involved with the Omega Lamplighters because my son is actually Omega Lamplighter. And, just from his training and exposure in Boy Scouts, I see his leadership skills at work within Omega Lamplighters, as well as Jack and Jill. So when I say that the programs that are there, they work. So I encourage, to let your child, whether it's you have a son or a daughter, get them involved in something.
Now, he also mentioned, he mentioned the Omega Lamplighters. You also mentioned the Kappa
League.
The Kappa League.
And I think the Sigmas have a Beta Club or something.
The Sigma Beta Club.
Yeah, Sigma Beta Club as well.
So you have those three. I don't know what the Alpha.
The Deltas have the Delta gyms, but I think all our D9 groups have some type of mentoring program.
Yes.
And, hey, we need them. I mean, we want to be there to support our kids, because it's truly take a village. And so our D9 has definitely put ourselves in a position to be a part of that village.
And the reason why I wanted him to emphasize that, because we support each other. I don't have to have him here, but because I know this brother, and I know his heart, and I know his service, that's the only reason why he's here. Otherwise, I would have dapped him up and just said, I'll talk to you later. Sorry about that push. But no problem. Y'all, for those who know me, that's exactly what I would have done.
Absolutely.
And so he knows me, and he knows I would have done that. But because I know who this brother is and what he does, and I got mad respect for him, that's why I have him here. And that's why I wanted him to not only talk about the Omega Lamplighters, but also to give me a little bit of fodder about that organization that he's a part of. So why don't you talk about the Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated?
Well, we just celebrated our Founders Day on November the 17th, and when I say a great time, it is a great time. And, it's a great time for all our D9 when they're celebrating their Founders Day. So it let you know that what the true struggle has been, 100 plus years for all of us for the most part. So it's a great experience. And we're doing great things, not only giving back to our community, but we uplifting our youth as well.
And see, that's what it's all about. And see, we, like I said earlier, we got to support each other. Now, on the yard, oh yeah, we sell a lot of wolf tickets. Yeah, we joke, we joan each other left, right, and sideways. But the one thing is, and I mean this from the heart, if someone says anything negative about any of the Divine Nine, any of them, and they're not there, I'm supporting them. Now, as a matter of fact, somebody did say something negative about, I can't remember which D9 it was, but I was like, oh, are you a member of D9? And I shut that down right there. Because you have no right, because you don't know.
Right, absolutely. And I think we all, look out for each other. I know we all look out for each other,
That's right.
Because at the end of the day, we still a family, and that family is our village. That's right.
Now, see, as far as me, I went over here, Alpha Beta, Jackson State, 19th fall, 1984, November 16th. So, day before your Founders Day. But on the day of your Founders Day, what's so ironic about that is that we had a game against Alcorn. And we went down to the step show, November 17th, my line and my Dina Pledgee, and we took the step show.
Wow.
So
memories.
Oh, God. That was 41 years ago.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Hey, and you still here. You know what? And so are you. Now, when did you go over? I went over in the New Phi chapter in Houston, in Texas. celebrating 100 years in 2026, which is next year, in the spring of 2002.
See, that's what I'm talking about. And this is why I make sure, regardless of who you are, when you went over, where you went over, what you did, how you did it, I got to show respect. I got to show respect, because if we don't, who will?
Who will?
And like I've said before, I teach at a major school. Love it, love it, love it, love it there. And I teach the students as if the students were actually going to an HBCU. And the one thing I will tell you, because I see the things at that major school, and knowing the things that I know here, how I was taught here, if I got a full ride free to go to any major school, and I had to pay, and I had to student loan it all the way through to an HBCU, I'm going to an HBCU.
Oh, absolutely. I wouldn't trade that experience for nothing. I mean,
it's a totally
no matter what,
experience.
it's a wow. It's wow and wow.
It's a totally different experience, and the culture that you have, and I'm seeing somebody else that's also a part of, and also we're part of JSU NAA, the National Alumni Association. And I'm seeing this cat over here that I actually marched in the band with. Now you bring your butt over here. And
hey, I'm gonna trade with Ken. So thanks you very much, Mike. And I enjoy your show, man.
And see, this my brother here. And even though we're not brothers here, but he's still my Divine Nine brother.
Absolutely.
So don't get it twisted.
Absolutely.
Don't get it twisted.
So. But I see you next in 2 weeks at the SWAC Championship right back here.
I'll be right here.
Okay, right.
And regardless of the winner, I'll also be in Atlanta.
Oh, we're going to be in Atlanta. We're all going to be the winners.
See, he already prognosticated that.
Oh, Lord.
And see,
what's up, brother?
Now, this brother here, I marched with first as he takes his seat. So I first marched with him. Then,
Jawan.
And I